But we need to talk about how the hell are they going to match up and play well and win against the Milwaukee Bucks. And so the ODM performance solution, Sean, that's what we need, because team building is hard. ODM PSI, they have been helping you find C-suite level staff, management staff. Also in the banking industry, they have really great connections to get you connected with people so that you can find employment. You want to reach out to ODM PSI. They also can help you find sales jobs, teaching jobs, management, operational support, odmpsi.com, or give them a call, 954-434-0634. They can help you. That's the whole goal here. Reach out to them. They can help you get connected to the right people. You just need to get in touch with them. That's 954-434-0634. That's finding C-suite level leadership, sales rainmakers, management, operational support, ODM PSI. And the ODM PSI solution for me against Milwaukee is we need the drop killers to be drop killers, Sean. And we are now going to find out. And yes, you can see the website there. Thank you, Alejandro, for showing you the very professional odmpsi.com. The drop killers have to be drop killers, right? So this is a Tyler Hero series. If Tyler Hero and Bam are not taking advantage, and Jimmy too, but I guess we all think Jimmy's going to do what Jimmy does. But Tyler and Bam, in theory, with the way that Milwaukee plays defense, should have shots that are in their comfort zone. Yay or nay?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the challenge is the length that they have on their team with Lopez, with Portis, with Giannis, with Drew Holiday is obviously a terrific defender. Chris Middleton is a good defender. Pat Connaughton, Joe Ingles, even though at his age, I mean, they're just a good team. They're probably, in my opinion, they're the best team in the NBA. If you're looking for something that fits, I mean, they're the fourth best offensive rating in the league, so it's going to be a challenge for our defense, and our defense has been leaky at times in the last 2 to 3 weeks. They're the second best offensive rebounding team in the league, which we saw on Tuesday. That can be problematic. But they are the number one team in turning the ball over. And the Heat's defense is very much predicated on turning people over. So if you can turn them over and turn that into offense, that's helping your defense. It's helping your offense. There's a lot of good things that can happen there. It's easier said than done, right? Because they're just a super talented team. But you know what? We just got out of March Madness, about 2 weeks ago. No one in the world thinks we're going to beat this team, right? We have no chance. No one's picking us. It's not like the BS where you're like, oh, we're an underdog. You're trying to hype yourself up. This is fact. No one believes in you. So what do you have to lose, as a team? Now, there's some individuals on this team, and I think you mentioned 2 of them or multiple of them that could be playing for contracts, playing for jobs, playing for their roles in Miami. That's a different discussion. But I think as a team collectively, you come back together tomorrow, you get ready for a game on Sunday, short turnaround, that's going to be tough. But
I like
empty the clip, man. Go after it.
I like it. For me, I think that this is a series that Max and Caleb in particular can have really big series. We need Tyler, Bam, and Jimmy. Like, that goes without saying. But if you're talking about the other guys that I think have an opportunity here, it's Max and Caleb to me. And I also think Kevin Love is going to have a big series. Someone in the comments here, and I apologize because I don't see your name because now it's scrolled through here, said Zeller may get minutes. I think that you could see that in certain situations. We did get a $4.99 donation here from Jason, so I want to definitely read this. It says, it'll be coaching malpractice if Spo goes into the Buck series with this same starting lineup. Max or Jimmy on Giannis. That is an interesting thing. So, Sean, do you think that they're going to size up with Kevin Love due to the fact that Lopez and Giannis are in the front court, or you think that they're going to just roll with Max and keep this as it is?
So this would be my pushback. I think he makes a great point about the size, right? We don't have the size to match up with them. Like, who are you going to put out there? Kevin Love? You're going to put out Omer? You're going to put out Zeller? I mean, it just doesn't exist. So to try to match them at what they are, which is a very good team with size, you can't match their size. So you have to try to beat them in a different way. And I think that's going to be by playing small, by pulling it out. And I know people aren't going to like that. And it's probably not the likely path to victory, but sizing up is probably a less likely path to victory. I mean, we're talking on small margins here, but I agree with you. I think you stick with what we have, what we played, kind of the 8 guys, and you just hope that you get hot from outside. You hope that the defense holds up. You hope that you can rebound, and you just need lucky bounces. I mean, you just need to be able to steal a game in the next 2, basically. That's all it boils down to. Steal one of the next 2 games.
And I love the idea of stealing game 1. There's 9 players in this Heat Bucks series that have been that were on the Heat when they beat the Bucks in the bubble. 6 of those are still in the Heat, and then Dragic, Crowder, and Leonard are on the Bucks. That's per Ethan on off the floor. I think that's funny, just that how there's going to be familiar faces. Goran's going to want to beat the hell out of us, but that'll be fun. I think that it's going to be higher scoring than people anticipate it will be, which I don't know how great for Miami that will be. But game 1 is the one that they got to get. And I think that if they go out there, they just need somebody to show up and shoot big the way that Max did tonight, to just give them some relief. And hopefully Kyle is okay, but Ethan has reported that doesn't look so good. So I don't know how much they can rely on Kyle Lowry. Sean, if Kyle Lowry can't play because he didn't finish this game, he didn't really get looked at by the trainers. You pointed this out during playback. Anybody who hasn't came and watched the game with us on Watch Playback, come on Playback TV and check it out. It's a fun app you can get, and you can also do it on your desktop. You watch the game with us. You can listen to the commentators, but also listen to us. You can interact. You can come on stage. Check out Playback and check out 5 on the Floor. The links are on all of our Twitter accounts. It's a lot of fun. We talked about this, though. Lowry wasn't being attended to by any trainers, and now it looks like Ethan says it that from what he's hearing, it doesn't look good. It's weird. What are your takeaways from the Lowry situation, and what do they do if he can't play against Milwaukee? Where do they turn?
Well, and I think the wording, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it came from Barry Jackson, who obviously is a reputable reporter, that I think the wording was that he asked out of the game.
Yes, that's how Barry put it.
And obviously, you know, you recognize the weaknesses of your body. If you feel something pop, if you feel something weird, he's going to know, not so much someone else. So if he asked out, I mean, I'm not accusing Kyle of trying to get out for any other weird reasons, but it was odd to me when we talked in playback that he sat on the floor in front of the bench. He didn't seem to seek medical help. He didn't appear to have ice, heat, you know, a band, anything like that. So, you know, he could be supporting the team. So we're not trying to speculate by any means, but in terms of moving forward, if he's unavailable, you know, you have Gabe starting at point guard. His minutes tonight, at least from my eye test, seemed to be limited. He played 27 minutes. Kyle played 11. So they kind of squeezed out the point guard position anyways. So who would eat up those 11 minutes? You either give it to the 8 guys that are already out there, or you have a redemption story, a guy that fell out of the rotation that can play the point guard position, that can defend at a high level. And I'm not the biggest Victor Oladipo fan, but that's the guy you got to turn to, right? I mean, he's the only guy that's really left there.
I mean, sorry, I was on mute. Yes, it is. It's Depot time, and I think a lot of people will be happy for that. I also think it adds more reliance on Tyler Hero. And I think, you know what? It's time for him to have that responsibility, and let's see what happens. There's no reason why he should not have all the usage in the world, and he has to be mistake-free. But Depot will play. Gabe is going to have to play. Max will play a ton. I mean, who else do we think can, like, realistically crack a rotation? I mean, I guess Haywood Highsmith in certain scenarios, maybe if they need Giannis defense. Is that a break glass in case of emergency Giannis defender as we look ahead?
Hold that thought for a second. Remember, we're doing this live. Shout out to our guy, Adrian, that's always in the chat, that was with us on playback. He alerted me to Barry Jackson tweeted 1 minute ago. He said, quote, Spo said Lowry took a hit and said that he's fine. He'll be reevaluated tomorrow. Doesn't necessarily mean he's in the clear, but obviously saying that he's fine, you would assume that we've escaped kind of the worst case scenario type of deal.
Yes.
But to your point about Haywood Highsmith, the other thing that happened, and I don't think he ever came back in, was Kevin Love hitting his head on the back of the floor, back of his head on the floor.
That
could be something, maybe you're in concussion protocols and things like that. But Haywood Highsmith, his ability to defend, his athleticism, that might be an option. By no means are we alluding to the fact that he can go out there and guard Giannis or anything. But I mean, he's a rangy athletic guy that you can throw out there for a few minutes and let him play hard. But you just have a tough task. There's no other way to put it. Nobody's trying to come out here and say that we're favored, that we have a great chance. But I think what both me and Greg are saying, steal one of two games in the first two. That's how that's the path. Just do one of those games and you got a chance.
But if
you go down 0-2, you're not coming back from 0-2 against this team.
You're right. Get one. So that's how we're ending this show. The mantra is now get one. And hopefully they will. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to our sponsors, ODMPSI, Prize Picks, Aggressive Insurance, Alejandro on the 1s and 2s. Please come and check out Playback throughout the playoffs. It is going to be crazy. We are going to be watching the games. Ethan, Alex, and Brady will be on with us on the road games because they're not going to travel, particularly to Milwaukee. Ethan won't be traveling. But the home games, when they're covering, it'll be Sean, Brian, myself, a cast of other characters that you'll know there, Mateo Mayorga, Eternal, as we call him on Twitter. Come check us out. And we invite the YouTube crowd to watch with us as well, because you can comment, come up on stage, you can get off your hot takes. So, it's a lot of fun. Come check that out. But thank you to our sponsors, and thank you for joining this program.